Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Presiding officer of this regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners of the Town of West New York, held February 19, 2014 at 7 p.m. I do hereby publicly announce and I direct that this announcement shall be placed in the minutes of this meeting and that the notice requirements provided for in the Open Public Meetings Act be satisfied. Notice of this meeting was properly given by the Board of Commissioners in a resolution dated and adopted December 18, 2013. Said resolution was transmitted by the Town Clerk, the Jersey Journal, and the Bergen Record, and publicly posted on the municipal bulletin board in the town hall and filed with the town clerk. Have a roll call. Commissioner Frias is absent. Commissioner Rodriguez. Present. Commissioner Vargas. Commissioner Wiley. Mayor Roque. First item on the agenda is approval of minutes for the regular meeting of December 18th and the special meeting of December 31st. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes? Motion by the mayor with a second by Commissioner Vargas. Commissioner Frias is absent. Commissioner Rodriguez? Yes. Commissioner Vargas? Commissioner Wiley? Mayor Roque? Next item on the agenda is payment of claims. Do I have a motion to approve the payment of claims?
I just had a comment, and I forgot to get in the work session. This is for the Consecutive Consulting Group. Now, I see...
It's an item on the agenda
on the bill.
What is the name?
Consecutive Consulting Group. Public Relations. Now, this, if I'm right, this is for January 21st, 2019, right? Well, I'm looking at the top of the page. I see over $12,000 here to save. I was under the impression I only get paid $4,000 a month. I'm pretty sure about that. Page 8.
Here it is. The problem is, it is. I look at it, more than several years.
Now this is it for the 1 month. I don't see a paper. Normally you have a line, January, whatever 4 months you're talking about. I don't see that.
Louder.
I don't like it. I can't approve the minutes. I don't
It's
know.
the claims.
The claims, and I don't know.
We don't have a motion.
Yeah, I can't approve that. I don't know if it's 12,000.
No, the contract is $4,000.
I know when he's getting paid.
Do I have a motion to move the payment of claims? Motion by Mayor Roque with a second by Commissioner Vargas. Commissioner Rodriguez? Commissioner Vargas? Commissioner Wiley? Mayor Roque. Next item on the agenda is receipt of financial reports for the month of January 2014. Do I have a motion to accept receipt of financial reports? Motion by the mayor with a second by Commissioner Rodriguez. Commissioner Rodriguez? Commissioner Vargas? Commissioner Wiley? Mayor Roque. Next items on the agenda are communications. Communication 4A, bid results received February 4th for improvements to 66th Street and 2013 roadway improvements. Communication 4B, bid results received February 6th, environmental remediation project. Communication 4C, RFQ results received February 12th, the Litigation Oprah Compliance Council. Communication 4D, RFQ results received February 12th for auditing services. Communication 4E, RFQ results received February 12th for Assistant Town Attorney. Communication 4F, RFQ results received February 12th for Staff Attorney. And Communication 4G, Town Engineer's Report dated February 14th. During the work session, the consent agenda was established. Prior to me reading the titles of the resolutions included on the consent agenda, I just wish to state that the following resolutions were pulled from the agenda during the work session will not be considered for approval or adoption tonight. Following resolutions that were pulled were resolutions R1, R4, R22, R18, and R19. So that's 1, 4, 18, 19, and 22. The remaining resolutions, which I will now read the titles, will be included on the consent agenda. Resolution R2, authorizing an extension of the interlocal agreement between the town of Bayonne, Harrison, North Bergen, and West New York for the position of health officer. R3, authorizing an interlocal agreement between the city of Union City and the town of West New York for the position of health officer. R5, authorizing the town of West New York to seek fair and open process in compliance with the pay-to-play statutes for the retention of public defender for the second occasion. R6, amended resolution establishing restricted parking in front of one residence for a handicapped resident at 162 61st Street. R7, award of contract for the purchase of 2014 Ford F-50 to Buyer Brothers. R8, 2014 sidewalk sales. R9, award of contract for improvements to 66th Street and 2013 roadway improvements to AJM Contractors Incorporated. R10, authorizing town clerk to advertise to receive bids for improvements to Washington Park. R11, refund of tax lien premiums. R12, refund of redemptions. R13, Hudson County Board Tax Appeals. R14, refund of overpayments of taxes. R15, award of contract for environmental remediation project to the Zone Incorporated. R16, authorizing application for NJ Transit FTA Section 5310 grant program. R17, authorizing the purchase of energy generation services for public use via online reverse auction with Commercial Utility Consultants Incorporated. R20, establishing the election of members of the West New York Board of Education as the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November, pursuant to NJSA 19:60-1.A1. R21, approval of professional services agreement between the town of West New York and Genova, Burns, Giantomasi, Webster for zoning board attorney. R23, approval of settlement of tax appeal for block 168.01, lot 7.01. R24, authorizing the purchase of special equipment pursuant to NJSA 48:11-51G. R25, approval of professional services agreement between the town of West New York and Lurch, Vinci, and Higgins for auditing services. And R26, approving amendment to the contract with RWDSU Local 108, representing the crossing guards for the term July 1 of 2010 to June 30th of 2015. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda, which will consist of all resolutions except for R1, 4, 18, 19, and 22?
Motion.
No.
Motion, I'll be thinking now.
All right, the mayor's going to make the motion, and then I have a second by Commissioner Rodriguez?
Yes.
Okay, and Commissioner?
R20. And I just have another question about this, the moving an election from April to November. Just bringing this up with my attention. Is it a conflict of interest being that Caridad has 2 children that work in the project? Or how to vote?
I'm not a part of that board. We can't hear you.
Can't hear a word. It would be a conflict. would be a conflict if he's dealt with a personal interest that the commissioner would have with respect to the Board of Education. For example, if it's a nomination or a promotion for one of her children as a teacher, but voting to have the election held in November rather than in April affects the town, affects the budget. So she's entitled to do that. That doesn't create a conflict of interest.
I just want to put on the record, you know, again, I'm not going to vote yes to this coming into November. This is something that 80% of the voters wanted here in West New York to have this change. Now that we had the first election, obviously it didn't go the mayor's way. It wasn't anybody that he promoted or pushed behind. Okay? And obviously it's very clear that they do want to see an non-political type board. And I agree with them. And I think Matthew Chang, Ms. Palermo were great choices. I'm glad that people voted for these two. I know they're going to do a great job. I pray every day about that, guys. I hope you do. Moving this back, I believe, has a big political interest for him. We have the majority of the board right now still controlled by the people that the mayor has appointed. And of course, if he was pushing behind two candidates, those would be the last two people I'd ever elect. Okay, because again, his capabilities of appointing good members is obviously hasn't been good. Now, what I see is, and I had to explain this to him honestly, because I know the agenda. And remember, come June and July, again, the board decides who gets hired, who gets fired, who continues to serve. There's a lot of nepotism on that board in that school system right now. Many of the people here have children and family members that are working in there, okay? Not that they were the most qualified, but who they knew. And I don't want to see that continue to happen. And the people, when they wanted this election, they wanted to change now. They don't want it a year from now in November, okay? And they're going to claim, well, it's costing the town $80,000. But how I look at it, the one job they give to somebody for 90 or 100, there's the money to save. This has been a very common practice here in Westfield. Out of town is being hired. Another 3 came on, or 2 this past in 2014. How many more were in 13? High salaries. Another lady, we got rid of our health officer, for God's sake. Now he's been here for 19 years, Mr. Ravelli, and demeaned him by moving him out into a smaller office. Meanwhile, the guy's ran the department for the last 19 years in West New York and has done a great job. But they chose to bring somebody else in for $83,000. Someone who we didn't need for the past how many years we've been here. So again, this is wasted money, wasted taxpayers' money, your money, which matters. Don't forget that. And this, again, this is something that we need to have. We need to have this election because West New York wants to change now. We don't want it in November. We don't want it next year. We want it this April. I'm asking that the commissioners that are here, we know already a lot of them are pressured to vote a certain way. If they really care, and especially Mrs. Rodriguez running for freeholder, she's supposed to care what the people think about it. Just on that basis alone, I'm going to speak for the people, and I'm voting no for this.
Did you take it off the consent agenda, Commissioner? Did you take number 20 off the consent agenda?
I tried removing it, they won't remove it.
No, that can't happen. That can't happen, with all respect. Point of order. Point of order. May I have a point of order? Will you yield?
Not my permission.
Thank you.
No, let's wait. I think
Right now, this is not the time.
they
Are you
should be
going to vote
heard.
before you let us speak, Mayor?
This is a serious situation.
Point of order, please.
What do you
Point of
want to
order.
say?
Let's vote on this.
Thank you, Commissioner. According to any...
No, you, no.
No, it's not
Not
going
gonna
to happen.
Why can't he have permission to speak? This has on the decision making you're going to make here in West New York. Not your political agenda, Mayor, as always.
You'll have the right.
It's disgusting what you're doing.
Can I speak before you vote? May I speak before you vote?
I want his information. I want to know what he has to say.
You're going to
Before
have...
you vote.
No, listen to this. You're going to have your 5 minutes.
Right.
Actually, I'm going to probably give you more. And then you can speak. But right now, we're going to take a vote.
You're going to vote on this before you let us speak? No, point of order. Point of order. You cannot do that. You cannot.
Relax.
There was a vote as
Haven't
a
you
consent
learned from
agenda.
Christie?
It's already voted.
This is what the people want.
Excuse me.
As a commissioner, he has
Relax.
a right to take it off the consent agenda. He has a right. As a commissioner.
I would like to have a moment.
Can you use the microphone so we can hear you, please? You're so spoken, that's why.
Jeanette, as I said in the work session, I addressed a few of the people that were there with us. 5 years ago, I was an assemblywoman, and it came before us, the proposition to allow the municipalities individually to choose to have the Board of Elections done in April or November for a few reasons, for reasons, okay? Number one, to save money. This past election cost about $80,000 to the Board of Education, plus it cost us to have policing around the polling places, cleaning crew, people who have to take off to work the election, and a number of things. Now, for that reason, we voted back then, all Democrats, in favor of giving the municipalities the opportunity to choose having April or having November. Why November? Not a primary, but a general election. To give people a chance to come out in masses to vote and to save the town and the Board of Education individually. Use that money towards something better for the children rather than just spending it on the election.
2 years ago, when this came up, we were on appointed board.
I am not finished.
Okay.
I am sure there are a couple of teachers here that can second that. And we took a long vote, and it was a lot of going back and forth, and it was decided that I will be not credited if I were to vote differently than when I voted then, and I believe in it. There's a reason for it, people. It's not to pick and choose who wants this or that. It's to save some money. More people will come out to vote. You'll have a better vote. And more attention to the items. Rather than now, where people don't care. Many people here work, and they don't care really. They don't know. They're not in tune with who's going to be a candidate, a good candidate, or a bad candidate.
Well, so you know better.
That's not true.
You don't know that.
I don't know that, but I have to give the opportunity to everyone.
That's right. Give us that opportunity.
It is the opportunity.
No.
And we have to set a precedent. I'm not being choosy here.
You're doing
We're
an
going
end
by the
run
law.
around the people's vote.
We voted it then.
But
We have to
we
stick by
voted
it.
Are the people that get to speak before you vote?
People vote, and the will of the people can be deprived for this situation that we vote for, right? And the mayor state that he abides, right, with what the people say. We vote yes, 82 to 80.
We can't have democracy? I have a point of order. I need to speak.
You have the
Commissioner,
right
I need to speak to the board.
You know what I
A
like to
point
do?
of order. I need to bring this up. They are violating state law right now.
The statute permits this resolution, the resolution has been voted on. Yes, yes.
I do want to take this, but I want the people to know who's going to vote. I want to hear your vote for R20, because I want this for the public to
We're
see.
supposed to be able
No,
to
we have
I
to
want
talk.
to vote the consent agenda and have it voted individually. I want you to put your heart where you're saying you're here for the people. This is a deteriorating Board of Education every single day that these individuals continue to serve there. And you want these people to serve for another year? Another Silvio Acosta? Are you kidding me? Someone who intimidates these people on that board every day he's there to vote?
Are you saying you're going to vote before letting us see?
April to November.
Yes,
We don't
yes,
deserve it. It's
yes.
disgusting. It's
You can't do that.
People want it now.
I understand the feelings.
All right, we're going to take a vote.
No, you cannot. Point of order. NJSA 40: New Jersey Ethics Law. No local government officer or employee shall act in his official capacity in any matter, whether he, a member of his immediate family or business organization in which he has an interest, has a direct or indirect financial or personal involvement that might reasonably be expected to impair his objectivity or independence of judgment. No, they're railroading us. They're railroading us. Civil disobedience. Civil disobedience. Colonel, you are out of order. You are disgraced. You are disgraced to the U.S. Army. You are disgraced. You are a disgrace to the U.S. Army. I'm just taking my wallet out. I'm a retired sergeant first class. How dare you do this?
Remove it from the consent.
How dare you do this?
He always gets a speech before resolution passes.
Remove R20 from the consent agenda. I want them to vote individually. No, why can't we
Make it a motion.
speak before
You have to let us speak. You have to let us speak. You have to let us speak. You have to let us speak.
I do have a letter.
Yes.
This is on the vote on the consent agenda with the items.
You were supposed to let the public speak.
The people. You're not representing the people.
There's conflict of interest here. There's conflict of interest here.
You're not representing the
There is
people.
direct conflict of interest here. You're violating the law.
80% want to change. On what?
On the consent agenda, on everything.
I want R20 removed from the consent agenda.
Yes, he has that right.
We voted on.
He has that right.
All we're asking is to speak.
We just want to speak for the record before they railroad it.
We're supposed to speak before you pass the resolution.
Remove R20 from the consent agenda.
All we're asking is to speak.
Oh, thank you.
Caridad, all we're asking is
All
to
right,
speak.
listen to the story. We already voted. Now, if you are decent
You're a piece of
enough,
shit.
They voted on the issue. They voted on it. Oh, you mean in the 6 o'clock hour? We should be in peace.
You're gonna leave now already? Leave it already? This is the mayor. I don't take nothing.
He's a crook. You're a crook. I'm retired military. You're a crook. How dare you usurp the people's power?
They don't deserve to be here. He's not a mayor. He doesn't represent West New York in any way, nor you as the people. Don't ever forget that.
Unbelievable.
That's the kind of guy runs. It's the third meeting he's ran, and 2 others he didn't show up this year.
Unbelievable.
That's 5 already. 5 meetings he took off on you. And if you want this as the mayor, there's something wrong here.
You remove yourself from the meeting. Now they don't have a meeting. The votes are not going to be valid. You remove yourself because they don't have a quorum now. You leave too, Wiley, because now they cannot have a meeting. Leave too. They leave. They don't have a meeting. They don't have a quorum. They cannot close a meeting. Wiley, they don't have a quorum now. So anything they think is illegal.
We're all leaving.
It's illegal what you guys are doing. It's illegal what you guys are doing. Let's have a rally. Let's have a rally.
You are not respecting the will of the people. You've just done a meeting. The will of the people. And we're going to hold you responsible. We're going to hold you.
You're a parasite. You're a parasite. You're a parasite.
$1,000 for friends and family like it's nothing.
Like dog has more ethics than you have.
The mayor got no heart. That's the problem. He's got no heart. He's got no heart. He walks out on the residents of West New York. Every time he out. I've never seen this before.
Did they close the meeting? Was the meeting closed? Was there a motion to close this meeting?
No.
If there was no motion to close this meeting, this vote can't go through, and we have our 5 minutes to speak. This meeting we have our 5 minutes to speak to whoever's up here. There was no motion to close this meeting. This meeting never happened. There was no motion to close the meeting. This is an open meeting. Stay here, please, and represent the people.
Instead of splitting the elections from January to April, why not have both elections in April? They're the ones that wanted to split it before. Nobody said anything before. Nobody said anything before. I don't hear anybody here saying anything before.